Hi, everyone. This is Marks again from Cabot Crossing Publishing. Back with another one of our awesome authors, another new author to our collection we haven't had at Cabot Crossing before. And she's has a story in our new anthology, Fairy Tales, Folklore, and Fables Reimagined. So, Natalie, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Jazz hands for you. I am Natalie Duvall, and I am a writer and a teacher that pays the bills most of the time. I dabble in a whole bunch of kinds of genres. I do have several short stories published, and those are all different kinds of genres too. So this will be this might not be my first fantasy one, but it's up there with it. And I'm really excited. This is a great anthology. I've gotten to read, am I allowed to say that I've gotten to read a couple of the other? Okay. And they're really good. I've had fun. I think I've sent an email to you a couple times that said, I really had fun reading this. So they're good stories. I look forward to the anthology itself.
Awesome. Well, speaking of your story, can you tease it, please?
So my story is Maleen. And I remember originally asking Marks if he had ever heard of this, because it's a little known Grimm's story. It's based on a little known Grimm's fairy tale called Maid Maleen. So you can see the connection in the titles. And this is a post-apocalyptic version of Maid Maleen. And it actually fits really well with what's going on. It is, kind of space-ish kind of telling, but it's about a woman who is locked in a space castle for 7 years and then gets out after the apocalypse. And then, all that fun ensues after it.
Of course.
Right.
So like you said, this is a lesser known story. What inspired you to pick this particular one?
Well, I have loved this story for years. I think I had one of those big, all the Grimm's books when I was a kid. And it was just one I had come across. I was very much generic. I loved all the princessy ones, got haunted by what they really were outside of the movies. And that was one I had found, and I had loved it and have read it time and time again. So when I saw the call for authors come out, call for stories, I was like, let me do this. Because it's one that I don't know necessarily that if you would read it now, you'd be like, yeah, this translates to, the early 2020s. So it was a fun effort in doing that. It also, I think you might have read it now, but it was one where some of the times I was like, am I reading this correctly? Did they leave a hole in this story purposely? So it was kind of also fun to fill that in as well.
Awesome. And, speaking of fairy tales, folklore, and fables, are there any other ones as you were growing up that maybe influenced you or really stood out?
I really did love the, grand, kind of like Renaissance age, medieval age kind of stories with fairy tales. And it was one of those things where I probably did see some movie versions first and then read the stories. And it was a nice, I really do remember, especially with Beauty and the Beast, right? Those are completely different kind of situations. So it's one as, you're getting to be an older kid and reading those and you're like, there's some history here. There's something going on. So those were the kind of stories, especially if you look at them from how were people thinking about women back then, right? And what was the plight of people who weren't rich. So it's kind of fun to see those stories I did really love because I had those romanticized notions of them as a kid. I don't know if that answers your question or if that just went off on a tangent.
No, I think so. It's great because it is a snapshot a little bit of culture in the past, or at least a way to look at culture and history in a different way. Yeah. So, we're doing depending on when people watch this, the Kickstarter could be live right now, and for the anthology, and we have different stretch goals, different add-ons and such. Did you want to mention one of the ones that you're working on?
Yeah, I'm doing some of the meet and greet. That's not what you call it, but we're doing the talk with the authors one. And are we teasing one of the other ones?
Sure, go for it.
There's one we're teasing that could be very tasty. I'll say that, right? But
I like it
as well. Yeah,
that's a great way to do it. So it's a delicious way to word that.
Yeah. Oh.
All right. So it's awesome to talk to you. You're new to the anthology. You're actually, I don't think I've ever at least talked to you in person before. So we did both go to Seton Hill different times. And, that's where that griffin's from, actually. It's the mascot.
Let me lean in. Yeah. Hey, I can.
So if you want to support the Kickstarter, one place you can go is cabotcrossy.com. You'll find a link there to support it. Or if you watch this if you watch this after the Kickstarter is over and you're like, darn it, I missed it, but I still want to check out these stories, you can also go there and there'll be links to the books when they go wide. So, and everyone, where can they find you, Natalie?
Yeah, you can find me at natalieduvall.com. Do check it out because I keep getting this one woman wants to buy the domain from me. So please keep it active so I can't be persuaded to sell it for $200.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us. And until next time, everybody.
All right. See ya.